Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We found the mother lode, ladies and gentlemen. We found the balance sheet income statement for TSLY, the Tesla Option Income Strategy ETF. So we're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you with clear evidence that TSLY, at least as of April 30th, 2023, has been a god-awful investment. Like, absolutely abysmally garbage. Let's go look at the balance sheet real quick. There's really not much on here. And then we're going to look at the juicy part, which is the income statement. So the middle option here, or the middle column here, is the numbers. The assets, liabilities, and equity for the TSLY Option Income Strategy ETF. So we can see that the total net assets, this is all their assets, mostly in securities, minus all their liabilities, which is mostly options written. Their total net assets of the fund is $54 million. Now, funny enough, $61 million has been paid into the fund. That's what's been invested into the fund by all you clowns out there. But we see some negative numbers here. Negative accumulated net investment income. Negative $2 million. Okay, that doesn't seem good. Undistributed net realized gain on investments. Unrealized gain, undistributed, negative 2.3. That's not good. And net unrealized appreciation on investments, negative 2.7 million. So despite people having paid in 61 million, the value of the net assets is 54 million. That's interesting. It's almost like there's been some losses. Interesting. Let's keep going down. So here's where the fun begins. So we have this thing, net investment income. What is net investment income? It's your investment income, interest, dividends, whatever, normally, minus the cost, the directly attributable cost of that investment income. Generally, like if, let's say you borrow on margin, right? Your net investment income is going to be your interest income minus the margin expenses that you paid. On this income statement, we can see on the middle, the Yieldmax Tesla Option Income Strategy ETF, they generated interest income of $205,000 for the period ended April 30th, 2023. That should be the first, looks like, 4 months of the year. They made $205 million, probably mostly from, this is probably all treasuries, because they hold a lot of treasuries in the fund. But you, as the clowns that own this, paid $39,000 in management fees and $25,000 in service fees. So the net investment income is the total interest income minus the management fees, minus the service fees, for $141,000 of net investment income. Wow, that's so much money. So this thing has $54 million of net assets. And basically from those net assets, they generated $141 of net investment income, interest from the treasuries that they hold. Why are they down massively? Well, we know that they also are losing money from their investments. Net realized gain and loss. So a realized gain is or loss is a real gain or loss. It is a real gain or loss. If you buy a stock, it drops, and then you sell it, you've realized that gain. The second you've sold the stock, you have realized the loss. And the reason Tesla is probably selling things at a loss is because they have to keep up this illusion of income. They need to trick you into thinking that they are actually paying you money that's investment income when the investment income is only $141,000. So they lost $2.2 million from selling investments, and they lost $96,000 from options written. And then they have change in net unrealized depreciation on investments and options written. This is $1.1 million that they lost on investments, and they lost $1.5 million on options. Now, the difference is that these are changes in net unrealized gains or losses. Realized is when you actually sell something at a loss. Net unrealized is when something goes down, but you haven't sold it yet. So on paper, you've lost money, but you have not locked in that loss. Okay? But overall, they lost huge sums of money, $5 million. If you add up the realized losses, these two right here, and the unrealized losses, these two right here, they lost $5 million in 4 months. What is it? Okay, hold on a minute. The fund commenced operation. This information presented is from November 22nd, 2022 to April 3rd. Okay, so basically December through April. So basically 5 months and change. They lost like $1 million a month. That's how I math. Looking good so far, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? So they actually break it down in a little bit more income detail here. Here's where you can see the grift. Here's where the grift becomes like, you cannot miss it. Khmer, are you watching this? Pay attention. Operations, net investment income. This is income that they generated basically from their treasuries. These are all the losses for a total of $4.8 million of net losses. Okay, they made $141,000 off of interest income, and they lost $5 million, both on realized losses and unrealized losses, so drops in the underlying securities. Total net loss of $4.8 million. But then they distributed to shareholders $2.1 million. So you think this is your income. You think that is your income. That's not. That's a distribution. This is the actual real losses. All of this is fake. All of it. This is just them giving you your money back. They lost a huge sum of money. Their net assets dropped by millions of dollars in like 5 months. Huge losses. But you think you're making money because you got this distribution. This is the real earnings. This is what you're going to make your money from or lose your money from. And I see negative $4.8 million. They lost money and they sold and lost. And they have a lot of stuff, basically bag holding, that they also lost on. And you think you're getting income. What more proof do you need? This is straight from YieldMaxETFs.com. I'm literally showing you the fund burned through about $5 million of assets in a 5-month period. Their net total loss from operations is $4.8 million. But because they paid you out $2.1 million, you think that's income. You are the biggest clown I have ever seen in my entire life. If you don't understand what you're looking at, if this does not resonate with you, you are finished. It is over for you, boyo. Bend the knee to your daddy. And I'll talk to you later. Cheers.